Well, folks, Three Waters is gone. Yeah, gone. But is it just a rebranding, as a lot of parties are saying? We don't know. It could be called now Cheap Waters. No, it's called something else. I think Affordable Waters. But anyway, let's go for it. I've got three concerns with this, and it needs to be explained. And they are: one, the assets that belong to council, I believe, are still not going to belong to council. So they're going to be outside the council's control. The two is the co-governance factor. I believe it's been rebranded. They don't use the word co-governance, but the word partnership is going to be used. And three is it's complete silence regarding the Auckland infrastructure. The floods just completely devastated many areas of Auckland, and that has to be upgraded. And that's going to cost, I would suggest, billions, B with a B. So there's a lot of questions here. Let's bring Vaughan in because he's the man of the moment and a great expert on these things. Hey, buddy.
Hey, kia ora, Max. It is good to see you again, bro, my treaty partner. Hey, Three Waters, it's been a contentious issue for a couple of years. And, I think this is going to be a good chat between you and I. So, look, I'll begin with setting the scene. And that is, if we look closer at what was released yesterday, and I'm going to call it Three Waters 2.0, and who knows, we might need to get up to 5.0. But, let's start with this fact. Globally, we Kiwis are perceived to be living in a beautiful, clean, green paradise. And certainly, Max, that is an oversell when you consider that 50% of our waterways have bacteria levels so high that if you swam in them, you could get an infection. So, Max, I began with what I just said there because it's a simple fact that we haven't managed our water resources well. And it is worse than that, Max. We've actually, as Kiwis, we've disrespected and abused our most precious resource, water. So no one with a brain would probably disagree with that. So being able to drink water from a stream because it's full of poos and wee should not be one of the benefits of colonisation.
I totally agree, Vaughan, and I do think that the problem the councils have got, they haven't got the money. So this piece of legislation, as they've got it, will resolve that.
And so if we don't change our ways, we are going to pay the price. No water, no life, no future. So, I'm sure that we agree that far, right, Max?
Yeah, as I just said.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, look, I'm on a roll now, so I'm going to keep going. So the revised Three Waters, it's not really that hard to understand. First and foremost, it seeks to end that current situation that you touched on, the decades of underinvestment in infrastructure, and there's a reason for that. Local councils simply don't have the financial mechanisms to find billions. They only can find millions. The ratepayer take doesn't do the job. So that's left us all with a manifested decades of a big mess. And on that basis, no one should have a problem with the objective of Three Waters, of resolving that. So let's give the government a tick there. Version 1.0 of Three Waters, however, did go down like a lead balloon. Remember that C word, co-governance? It was only a few months ago that 80% of our population was running around ranting, co-governance, that means the water has been stolen by the bloody Maoris. It was out of control. Anyway, the irony, it brings us now to Three Waters version 2.0. And so there's 5 key points in my mind, Max. We've got the 10 entities spread regionally. The ownership of the water infrastructure stays with the councils, but the strings that will be attached is the access to the central government funding and what terms and conditions will be required to get those billions, as you say. Governance by way of professional boards with the words are water infrastructure expertise. So definition of that is an area that we'd like to see more of. And now the oversight, including local mana whenua, local Māori, fantastic. Why shouldn't they be sitting at the table and be involved in being informed of what the board are doing? So, Max, I'm just going to finish with this. Our local current infrastructure model is not viable, let alone sustainable. What we as a public mustn't be drawn into is the pathetic political gamesmanship that's going on. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. We know the current model's failing, and therefore the real question is, how do we make that work? The opposition coming out and calling it dumb. Well, okay, I'll tell you what's dumber, bro. Pooing and weeing in your own drinking water. That is dumber. Like, this water tastes so creamy. That's about the guts of it in my mind. So I'll put my cards on the table. I'm totally okay with version 2.0, but I think your key point is there are some areas that need to be clarified. Would that be right before I go back to you?
Absolutely. One of the most sensitive areas is the co-governance side of it. And again, they don't mention co-governance, it's called partnership. But again, look, it's a matter of power. Now, who runs these water issues? And of course, it's going to be a special board. Now, this is what the Herald said this morning. The council-owned professional run board is 50-50 government oversight between council and mana whenua, which would also appoint the board. So by God, that's a powerful position. So if let's just say if it's Maori that people are concerned about, they're going to appoint a board. Now, they're going to put people on that board of their interest. Now, the other thing, it needs to be defined. What is it that oversight means? Does it mean power? Does it mean decision-making? We need to have that defined. The other thing is professional. So if it's going to be a professional board, is that people who are professionally sit at boards all their life, sitting back, relaxing, the big timers? Or is it going to be people that practically understand pipes and infrastructure and civil engineering? We do need to have those things defined, because I've got some strong thoughts on both of those matters. And I think that needs to be defined before I've got confidence in this legislation.